So we just created this page with Flexbox. We're going to play around with it a little bit, and then we'll see what else we do. If you're catching this video online, you want to see the code, you can go to GitHub goes to 11. That's my username on GitHub. And repositories, HTML, CSS Bootcamp. Make sure you star this so it comes to the top of my list so people find it more easily. Also, follow me on Twitter if you like learning about creating websites, building websites, web development, the Go programming language. There's my Twitter stuff, so follow me there. And finally, last of all, I'm building this great website with some friends that allows you to learn stuff and then take what you learn and turn it into a job and get paid for the skills you have. And so check out Greater Commons. It's going to be launching soon. Maybe it's up by the time you're watching this video. All right, so there's a video of me playing already. And that's where I uploaded my previous video. Now what I want to do is play with this a little bit. Not sure totally what that's going to look like. And so let's just experiment with it. And one of the things I want is I want to have content down below this page. So I want content below this page. So to do that, I'm going to come into my index page. And I put this here. We're in 00 temp, 09 spring 17, 010 flexbox, 03 experiment. And in index, there's my index, there's my CSS. Get my CSS over here, split vertically, and then close it there, and then move this window off the side. I can move those on and off. Somebody's like, how do you do that? So I slowed that down to show it. Right now I have my body being the Flex container. And I'm going to change that from body to main. And then this is just, I'm going to call this main. And then I'm going to put all this stuff that I had in before inside main. All right, and now everything should else be the same. But I needed to have room inside body to do stuff without jacking up what I've already done. I'm going to go to code and reformat code just to reformat that. So that got reformatted a little. And now if I look at this, it should be all the same. It is. Good. Theory holds. Close that, I don't need that. And now that I have that, I'm going to just come down here and do an OL and an LI, and I'm just going to put in some count as I count up 200 times. And so I just added a whole bunch of content. And so now this stuff at the top, this main, I've told this to take up 100 VH. This is perfect above the fold design. Above the fold, in the old days in publishing, above the fold was you'd take a newspaper and you'd fold it and then you'd put it out for sale on the street at a newsstand. And things that were above the fold, so on this top half of the newspaper, that's what you wanted your customers to see, right? That's because that's what's shown on the above the fold of the newsstand. So this is perfect above the fold design, meaning this is what they see when they first come to your website. Regardless of the size of the website, we have built it that it's always welcome to paradise, that image, and no other content showing up below. And we built it that way because we said main's height is 100 VH. Viewport height, 100 VH. And so that's always going to be, this is what you see. No matter your screen size, when you come, this is taking up 100. And then down below it now, when I refresh, I now have a scroll bar down below. And now when I scroll, I have all this stuff. So I have content down below. Okay? So that's kind of cool. Just, you know, that you could kind of do that piece to it. And then the next thing is maybe I want my header to always stay up on top. Right? Maybe I always want my header to stay up on top and not be something I got to scroll. I just always want it to be there. And so I could do that. My header is right here. There's my header. Here's my header. And my header is inside main. That's fine. But with my header also is a Flex container. I'm just going to do position, fixed, and top, 0, left, 0. And so if we look at position, MDN position, and MDN's Mozilla Developer Network, here's position, CSS. Position property chooses alternate rules for positioning elements designed to be useful for scripted animation effects. Okay, whatever. Alternate rules for positioning elements. Position property. Right? So here it's a property, and it has values. What are those values? A position element whose computed position property is either relative, absolute, fixed, or sticky. And we'll learn about these in more detail, but right now we're just saying, okay, I did relative, absolute, fixed, or sticky. I did fixed. A relatively, blah, blah, blah. Syntax, value, static, relative, absolute, fixed, sticky. Examples, and then display box position relative, and absolute positioning, and fixed positioning. And fixed positioning, top, you set top and left, right and bottom. You could set those too, right? But then I'm pinning it to some place on the page. Is that your concentration look right there, Robert?
Yeah.
That's you like just. That's cool, man.
Sure.
I like that. He shuts his eyes and he's just listening. I've seen him do that a couple of times. So now let's just see what this looks like. But it threw off my Flexbox, right? Because Welcome to Paradise is at the top. You see that? But my header's sticking. Now, the reason it threw it off is because there's something called the document flow. And if you position something, if you use position to position something, it takes it out of the document flow. And so because of that, I can now clean up this page, and I no longer need this hacky div that has nothing in it. And I can change this here, instead of it being space between, just to center, right? And that should be it, because now main is a flex container, display flex, and its flex direction is column, and justify content operates on the primary axis, which is a column, and it's going to center it vertically and center it horizontally. And the only child in this flex container is H1, because the header has been removed from the document flow by the nature of having position fixed applied to it. All right, so document flow is the boxes stacking on top of each other. And we pull something out of the document flow, it's on top of it. Or, it's just not part of that box stacking order. And if I fix something to a page, that makes sense. It's no longer the boxes stacking on top of each other. You know what I'm saying when I say boxes stacking on top of each other? I'm like, if I had this div and this div and this div and this div, boom, boom, they're just going to stack on each other down the page, right? Like here, I'm just going to stack some divs. Div with a class of stacker, whatever, and I want 10 of them. And class stacker, I'm going to say it's a width of 100 pixels, height of 100 pixels, and a background color of red. And a margin of 10 pixels. Right? Those divs just stack up on top of each other. That's the document flow. But that header is now out of the document flow because I said position fixed. So that's kind of a cool thing that you can do. And that gets rid of that hacky deal. So you can decide whether or not you always want your header at the top of your page. Nice, right? And then the last thing I'll look at is, and I got to look up the code on this because I don't remember how to do it. But that code is down here, and it's a travel website, and here's finished. And let's just look to see what it looks like. Like, look at that little effect right there, right? Isn't that cool? Like it kind of closes up under it. And our header is always there, like in the previous one.
Oh, wow, that is cool.
I like that effect. So how did I do that? I don't know. I gotta look again. So let's look. See how did I do that? Close all these for a second. So here's the index and here's the CSS. And we have some media queries. We've got main CSS split vertically. And the one we're looking for is live your greatest adventure and then this background image. So I'm just looking for background URL to kind of see, is it some setting on that background image or is it some setting on this, that gets that to come up. So padding, there's some resets, and anchor text decoration none, remove underline on the hyperlinks, list items, and above the fold 100 VH, I call that ATF. So here's my above the fold. It has endless journey, and let's see, above the fold goes from there to there, and it has the header, which is logo, music, map, blog, logo, music, map, blog, so all that stuff. And then the hero image is above the fold. And then we have main and call to action, and this main is right here, right? And so that's the live your grace adventure, start now. And so let's look at that. So here we have no repeat, background attachment fixed. Background attachment fixed. So let's try that. So we're going to come back to this code here. And there's the CSS for that. Well, we'll close all these. I don't need that open. And the one that I want is that image. So that's right here. Where's my image? Right there. Background attachment fixed. Background attachment fixed. So I'm fixing that, right? Attach it to the background, make it fixed. So let's refresh that page. You like it? I like it. All right, so I want you to refactor the code you've already done. The things that you need to use to do that, and this is a little bit of a review, is you need to, instead of having everything here be inside body, just put it inside main. Main is another semantic tag that you can use. And here's main, and main is described as, represents the main content of the body of a document or application. The main content area consists of content that is directly related to or expands upon the central topic of a document or the central functionality of an application. It's the main content of a page. So that's an appropriate semantic tag. So instead of having everything inside body, I put it inside main. And then for my image, I just added background attachment fixed. And then I just added a whole bunch of OLLIs to make sure I have content beneath the perfect above the fold stuff. Do it!